Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Land, Oceans, and Business podcast. For those tuning in for the first time, welcome to our world of sustainability and business. For those joining in again, welcome back. Today, we have a really special guest with us, Anton Gorodetsky, Head of Industry Relations at MY.GAMES, a Dutch video game publisher and developer. They've published over 150 games, but today we're going to be focusing on two, specifically Storyngton Hall and Global City. You might be wondering why, and well, we're launching a campaign together with Dots Eco, incorporating environmental impact inside these two awesome games. We'll be covering topics from sustainable business and eco-gaming trends to details about this exciting campaign in these two awesome games. And as per usual, which is my favorite part of the podcast, we're going to go personal with Anton's sustainability lifestyle. So let's get the session started. Anton, welcome to the Land, Oceans, and Business podcast. We're happy to have you here.
Isabella, thank you so much. Thank you. Welcome everybody to the show. Hey, everyone. And yes, finally, we're doing this together because as we have been joking with Daniel, this has been probably the longest onboarding process in the history of Dotseco. We have our processes. That's okay. But now we've made sure that everything is fine, everybody's happy, and we can finally do this.
Yeah.
And yeah,
we made
I'm so happy to be here. Yeah.
Yes, amazing. We're super happy to have you as well. Anton, so just to warm up the conversation, tell us a bit more about yourself and about MY.GAMES.
Sure, absolutely. As I already said, I'm the head of industry relations at MY.GAMES. Basically, what I do here involves a lot of activities. Some of them are communication, some of them business development, some of them investment. But mostly it is all about building and nurturing relationships with our key industry partners. And I actually started out in journalism before gaming.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been, this helps me a lot actually, because I've managed several online gaming outlets before making the jump to MY.GAMES. But of course, gaming has been pretty much always at the core of who I am and what I do. I've been playing video games since I was a kid. And there's nothing better for me than, getting lost in a good single player narrative or some FIFA match. Yeah, that excites me a lot. And we are very excited. We have just been playing for the last several months a lot of Helldivers 2 with my colleagues, with my friends here in Cyprus. And now we're very excited about Space Marine 2. So, yeah, I mean, these are not my games, but I just, if you make it personal, yeah, we just
Then they're really cool
always,
games for you.
yeah, always trying new stuff.
Nice, amazing.
And yeah, this is basically something about me. And regarding MY.GAMES, you already said that we are a Dutch gaming company. We're a developer. We publish games. We're invest in games. We do pretty much everything there is to do in the video game business. We have over 1 billion registered users worldwide in all of the games. It's actually 1 billion and 200 million people, as far as I remember. And yes, we're headquartered in Amsterdam. We also have offices here in Limassol, Cyprus. And you guys are always welcome here, as you know it. We have offices in Abu Dhabi, in the Emirates. We have offices in Tbilisi, Georgia, in Yerevan, Armenia, in Belgrade, Serbia. So people are all over the world, MY.GAMES people. And yeah, we're developing mobile titles, PC, console games. You might have heard about our hits, War Robots, Hustle Castle, Rush Royale, Left to Survive. Even though these are not the games we're going to be talking about today. But yeah,
maybe another time.
Maybe we'll see how it goes. So yeah, this is basically
amazing, Anton. Thanks so much for the great overview. So, as you know, we want to focus a bit about green gaming, and what you're doing here with these two games has everything to do with that, right? Eco gaming trends, green gaming, sustainable business. So I think it would be super interesting to kind of have an overview of what MY.GAMES is doing right now with sustainability as a whole.
Sure, Isabel, absolutely. At the core of MY.GAMES, we are hopefully all gamers. I'm pretty sure the majority of MY.GAMES people are gamers at heart, but obviously we're trying to be global citizens as well. Not just play video games, but make sure that we, as an industry player, we are taking our own part in making the planet better for us to live. Of course, apart from the My Games people, we're also trying to make sure that the players of our games at least know about this and hopefully take their part as well. And we take these responsibilities quite seriously. We are committed to using our knowledge, our experience, the resources that we have to drive some positive change, to contribute something to that. And one of our key priorities is sustainable community development. We're rolling out various initiatives across several areas, from climate action and educational programs to social projects within our teams. We try to pursue ethical business practices. We try to promote diversity, equity, inclusion. And basically, our goal is to elevate the gaming industry and improve the quality of life in those communities that we touch. We also do something on a more personal level. Like, for example, here in Cyprus, we every year organize community cleanups. So
Oh,
it may be,
amazing.
yeah, we sometimes we do this on the sunny beaches that we have here, sometimes along the seashores, sometimes up in the mountains, because thank God here in Cyprus, the nature is rich and you can have both the sea and the mountains. One more reason to, visit us here. Yeah, and we of course don't forget about Amsterdam. We do similar activities there, although the weather there is not as warm and nice as here.
No, it's not.
Yeah, 100%. And beyond these cleanup efforts, the whole team tries to come out and to help to clear the area of trash. Apart from that, we're also engaged with various ESG associations through sustainability meetups, and we can dive into this a little bit later.
Nice, amazing. Well, it seems like you're doing so much already. That's
Trying, yeah.
incredible. You mentioned something super interesting here about the players and how you also want to educate the players, right? But consumers in general and players already want to help, right? They want to do something, but they just don't know how. So I think that this is the beauty of what we will be doing together, like
Yeah.
bridging this gap and helping them do something. But I also think in most cases, players are also asking for it, right? Their gaming industry is booming, it's growing, but as it is growing, companies also have this responsibility of saying, okay, now we're here, we have these 100, 200, 300, 500 incredible games that we have published and developed, but what's the responsibility that we have now, and how do we want to allow the players to also do their part, because they also want to do their part. So I think this
Yeah.
is great. And you also mentioned here all the key priorities that you're having: the sustainable community development, diversity, ESG frameworks, social projects. And I think that this is super, super cool. And now eco rewards, which is a whole new unexplored territory for my games, I guess. So
Yeah.
I think this is going to be super, super, super interesting. And I think it creates a perfect bridge to my next question, which is what brought you to merge gaming and sustainable initiatives, particularly for Storyngton Hall and Global City?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You have summarized this perfectly, actually. But yeah, last year we had these discussions with the development teams of these two projects of Storyngton Hall at Global City about how we could integrate environmentally responsible elements into these games. And yes, basically the objective was to inspire the people, the players, to engage with these critical environmental issues through gameplay, because as we all know, the best way to learn is through games. They understand the impact of their choices and the actions on the world around us. And as a result, both games now feature these unique in game events and challenges that delve into topics such as sustainability, conservation, climate change. And these elements are designed not only to, well, of course, entertain, but also to educate, to empower players to think about how can they contribute further to a more sustainable future in their own everyday lives. And we here at My Games are excited to see how these additions will encourage our community to explore and reflect on the importance of caring for the environment. And basically, what is going on in both of these games is that in Storyngton Hall, which is a match three home renovation game, which is perfect for players who enjoy, puzzles and challenges. And in one of the in-game events, the story revolves around rescuing a tiger cub that was harmed by poachers. So players get to create a safe and comfortable habitat for the cub. And plus, when gamers purchase a battle pass, part of the proceeds go to the David Shepherd Wildlife Foundation, which is actively working to protect tigers by funding conservation efforts in Assam, India. Meanwhile, in Global City, players are in for some serious challenges that get them thinking about how human activities impact the environment. And there's a lot to tackle, like rescuing a blue whale stuck in a plastic island, cleaning up and beautifying the coastline, and promoting responsible use of ocean resources. So those players who step up as responsible mayors of their towns will earn two new exclusive avatars, a unique monument for residential areas, and a fully completed infrastructure project for the new global city coastline. And of course, when purchasing a battle pass, part of the proceeds from that goes to support Plastic Fishers, which is a social enterprise that aims at stopping plastics in rivers to prevent ocean plastic, and Sea Turtles, which is engaged in protecting ecosystems for turtles around the world. So basically, this is the result of some in-depth thinking process. These events, they kicked off on September 26th, and they have already inspired our community of players to turn their in-game actions into real-world environmental impact.
Incredible. I think you already mentioned these two amazing organizations. Like there are several organizations, right? So
Right.
you mentioned Plastic Fisher, you mentioned Sea
Yeah.
Turtles, and David Shepherd Wildlife Foundation.
Yes.
So I just thought I would give a small overview for the players to understand a bit better about each of them, what they're going to be doing, like what are they actually going to be protecting by the impact that they're going to be doing in game. And just for them to feel a bit closer to the
Sure.
activity and for them to know that it is
100%.
real, that what they're going to be doing is actually real. So
Yes. Yes.
the beauty of Sea Turtles, so let's start with the ocean impact. There is Sea Turtles, which is an incredible organization that it's 16 years old. They focus mainly on the protection of turtles, but the twist to it is that, as you know, there's lots of plastic everywhere, right? In the world, in the beaches, in the ocean, in the rivers. So all the funds that they're going to receive is for cleaning up plastic from beaches, from particularly from nesting sites. And why is this super important? Well, turtles need to lay their eggs, need to go to the beaches at different points of their life. And when there is so much plastic around it, this becomes a huge challenge for them. So this is the first focus of Sea Turtles in terms of plastic, right? Because they also focus just on sea turtle conservation, but this project that you will be supporting is just about sea turtles and plastic. Then, for instance, when the hatchlings, so the little sea turtles, are born, they basically need to run back to the water because of all the predators. But when there is plastic all around, they are much more exposed by the seabirds, by the ghost crabs, by the raccoons, by the dogs. They can be eaten so much faster because of all the obstacles that they're having, from the fishing nets to the plastic bottles, straws. There's plastic pretty much everywhere. So this is the beauty of this project. It's going to be picking up a bunch of plastic in different areas of the world. So the main sites which will be protected by the players will be in Sandy Beach in Sao Tome, in Marereni in Kenya, in Lomé Beach in Togo, Cameroon, and Mexico. So these are some of the locations. I believe there are a few others, but these are the main ones. And this is basically the work with Sea Turtles. Then you have Plastic Fisher, which has a complete different approach. And their whole approach is about the 3L initiative. It means it's locally built, it's low cost, and it's low tech. And this means they're going to be creating a trash boom. I'm going to be putting that here for people to understand what I mean by a trash boom. But basically, it's a swimming barrier that stops the vast majority of river plastic while allowing marine life to swim underneath. They have many of these, but only in India and Indonesia. So these are the two main locations for Plastic Fisher. Why they do it on the rivers is because 80% of plastic comes from the rivers. This is why the impact type that we show as Dots Eco is ocean-bound plastic. It's not just ocean plastic, but it's all the types of plastic that at the end ends up in the ocean. And the really beautiful thing about this project is that a part of the incredible technology they have, they are hiring lots of local people from the ground in India and in Indonesia to do all the work ethically, which is, I believe it's incredible, because in low-income countries, finding a great job that takes into account work hours, mental health, good pay is not that easy. I am Colombian myself, so it's tricky. It's not an easy task. So I think that the work that they're doing is incredible. And then the third project for Global City, right? For the wildlife initiative. So this is David Shepherd Wildlife Foundation. They have projects all over the world, but this one will be focusing in Assam, India, and it's mostly about fighting wildlife crime. How do they do this? By having people guarding areas, basically by working with stakeholders of policy and climate, and in general just protecting the area of these incredible animals, as you said, tigers, rhinos, and so many other species. I'm going to leave a bunch of links in the comments of the podcast so that all the players can go and have a look and learn more if they would like. And also the cool thing is that we have a podcast also with sea turtles and plastic Fischer, so I'm also going to be putting that so they can learn more about it by the founders directly. So I think this is super cool to be able to say and bring out loud and just talk about them. They're such amazing organizations. What are your expectations for the activity, Anton? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for actually elaborating on these organizations, because I'm definitely looking forward to listening to those episodes. And basically, my only expectation, and of course, my game's expectations for the activities, is exactly what you have done right now. So basically, raise awareness of these organizations, first and foremost, and through them, of the crucial global environmental issues, and basically encourage them to consider once again, how they can make a difference on a personal level by this approach that we embrace in My.GAMES, which is think globally but act locally. And
That's great.
yeah, basically, there's this single goal to make sure that the more people know about this, the better.
Beautiful. Well, I'm super excited and I'm looking forward to seeing the results and the players' reaction to the activity. So, from when till when will the activity be happening? I think this is a great opportunity to say the actual date so that everyone understands
Yeah, so
when they can do the impact.
it started on September 26th, and this will happen for a month, as far as I remember. But that's another good question. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be happening for a month.
Well, I'm super excited about it. So now that we covered everything Storyngton Hall and Global City related, I would like to focus more on the bigger picture now. And that is sustainable business, basically. So as you know, we see big names in the industry like Scopely, InnoGames, SciPlay, and now My.GAMES bringing green practices to the gaming mix. In what aspects do you think the industry will evolve, taking this into account?
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, as you have already said, the gaming industry in the last 20 years, maybe 15 years, is that the industry is getting mature. And one of the parts of becoming mature, apart from many other aspects, which we have seen during and still continue to look at during these turbulent times, one of the aspects is that you have to become more serious regarding sustainability.
Yeah.
You have to make important steps towards that. You have to recognize yourself as part of the world and this business as part of the bigger environmental picture. And basically, the move towards eco-friendly practices, which shows a growing awareness among developers, among publishers, among gamers about the industry's impact on the planet. And being one of the fastest growing sectors globally, gaming has the power to influence and to inspire millions, and not just through stories or experiences that it provides to the players, but also through its balance of innovation and environmental responsibility. And these basically could include adopting greener technologies, reducing your energy consumption, implementing a remote first approach, exploring sustainable materials and practices in game development. And additionally, games are becoming powerful tools for raising awareness about climate change, about educating players on its impact, about motivating them to actually take action, to think globally and act locally, as we've just discussed. And by taking the steps, the gaming industry is not only reducing its impact on the planet, but also setting an example for other businesses, for other industries, while empowering millions of players to think critically about their own environmental impact.
Super interesting everything that you're saying, especially when you started by saying we need to get more serious. I think
Yeah.
this is one of the big things that need to happen, not just for games, but for any type of company, right? And not just serious because consumers are asking for it, but serious because governments are also starting to put a bunch of pressure, especially here in the EU. Like there are so many frameworks that companies need to start reporting, CSDR as well, ESG frameworks. There's so much pressure happening towards mainly larger companies, but eventually it will also reach medium and small enterprises. No one is exempted from doing the right thing and playing their role. So I think this is super great that you pointed out. You also say that you want to encourage players and companies to recognize themselves as part of the world as well. And this is so interesting because we live in such an individual society. It's like every man is on its own here. So I think it's beautiful to understand that yes, we are all individuals, but those individuals create a small company, a medium company, a large company, and at the end, that all has a massive impact on the resources. We are using the planet as if it was times nine its size, with times nine resources, times nine everything,
Yeah.
basically. So for me, it's very personal, and I get very emotional with this because I really hate it. But I love that you are so aware about it, and also My Games is doing so much to add the part.
Well, we're trying, at least.
Yeah.
You can always do
trying.
more. You can always do
Yeah.
more, really.
You can always do more, it's true, but it's not that easy. It's easy to incorporate sustainability in some aspects. It's not so easy to incorporate it in some others. For example, you mentioned the energy efficiency. When gamers are using all of this energy to play the games from console, from phone, from wherever they are playing it, they're using a bunch of energy. So what can games do to tackle this? Because at the end, it's something that they are also encouraging to do. So this is where it gets tricky for me. But there are also many easy things that can be done, or not easy, but challenges that can be proposed and solved in different ways. And it's great to see that My Games is taking it seriously, as you said. What is your vision for the role of gaming and technology in addressing the global climate crisis? I feel like we already kind of touched upon this question, but I don't know if you have
Right.
something else to add for the vision moving forward.
Right, absolutely. One of the aspects that we have to think about is that goal that we have been discussing beforehand, and which is achieving global change. It's kind of beyond the reach and the possibilities of any single company, being huge companies like Electronic Arts, Activision Blizzard, or smaller companies like My Games. And that's why we firmly believe in the power of collaboration. And we try to focus on building strong relationships, and which is part of my job personally, with both local and international associations. We try to support global campaigns and initiatives, and we try partnering with different nonprofit organizations dedicated to making a difference.
Great.
And here's the thing: games are born and thrive within communities. This has been proven, and our journey has been shaped by uniting dozens of studios from around the world. I've already mentioned the different hubs that we have employees at, and we try to foster a shared vision about collective growth. And so these collaborations, they have not only defined what My Games is and who we are today, but also influenced the broader landscape around us. And we at least try to understand that real lasting impact comes from working together, which is why we place great importance on finding like-minded partners who share our values, like Dotseco, for example. And so by combining individual efforts, we can amplify our reach, we can drive meaningful change on a global scale. So yeah, basically our vision is that we have the power to transform both the gaming industry and the world for the better together.
I like that. It sounds so utopian. I love how you say it, but it's like a
Well,
beautiful utopia. But no, I think it's a great
you can
vision.
dream.
And no, you can dream, but in many ways you can also make it a reality, especially when it
Yes.
comes down to collaboration. Then comes my point again of how individual we are as humans, but also as businesses sometimes. But if you want to do an impact, you need help, and you need to partner with, as you said, like-minded companies, individuals, organizations that want to achieve the same goal, and it's doing good for the planet, for society, for humanity, for future generations, for whatever it is, but just doing good. So I think it's a great vision and it's a great way to, yeah, to think about the future of sustainable business. I really like that. Anton, we're reaching the end of the podcast, and this is my favorite part of it always, and it's learning about your own sustainable lifestyle. What are you doing in your day to day life, or what small steps are you taking to incorporate sustainability in big or small ways in your life?
Yeah, sure. As I've already mentioned, in the beautiful city of Limassol here in Cyprus, we try to often organize cleanups along the reservoir bank near the city. And I, of course, have taken part in that. And we, as a team, we've collected being 130 bags of garbage. Because to be honest, it is a problem here. I mean, with all my love for the local community and for the local way of life and the lifestyle, people here do have a tendency to, throw things out at the natural places. And yeah, so collecting garbage is one of them, collecting trash. But we didn't just, of course, stop there, and we made sure that some of the waste was sent for recycling. So we basically turned that cleanup into a positive step towards a more sustainable future. We have also recently organized an event here at the office, which was basically like an event for the local government and people, and for the C-level people of the local gaming companies. And we have been collecting money. So this was a charity event for one of the local cleanup organizations as well. So trying closely to work with them. And we, of course, are planning to do that again this year. We want to collect more trash and make an even bigger impact, because one of the ideas that I personally believe in is that you got to give back, because we are
Absolutely.
very thankful for the local community, to the local community and to the local government for being hospitable and for allowing us to actually do business here. And apart from these people, I'm of course talking about the island itself as a natural habitat. And you cannot just go around the city and the island enjoying the mountains and the sea and the amazing views without, contributing a little bit to it being cleaner.
Yeah.
We do different projects, not only here. One of them is that in Armenia, as I've said, we have an office there as well. There was a different kind of thing. I have not taken part in that personally, unfortunately, but other My.GAMES people planted 1,000 trees, which in time will grow into a full-scale forest, hopefully.
Nice.
And it personally, to me, it's amazing to think that something as small as as a seedling can eventually turn into a thriving ecosystem, right? Providing
Yeah,
habitat
it's
for
insane.
wildlife, yeah, improving air quality, contributing to the fight against climate change. Like, you basically can just plant a seed, and then in time, it happens
It
to be
becomes
forest.
a massive forest. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's crazy how nature works. And then in Amsterdam, of course, we took the conversation about sustainability to the next level. We hosted the sustainability and games talk at our Amsterdam office. I'm pretty sure you may have seen that. And actually, Yelena, who you know, she's been
Yeah.
speaking there. She lives in Germany, but she went over to the Amsterdam office of My.GAMES,
That's
and she,
awesome.
yeah, she
Super
spoke
cool.
there alongside a member of Playing for the Planet organization,
Yeah.
and also the operational director of the Dutch gaming industry, Martine, who we are members of the DGA. So she also helped us to, to make sure this happened. And yeah, we had some guests, and it was inspiring to see so many people come together to discuss how the industry can contribute to a more sustainable future. And we had, of course, the cleanup event there as well. So the
Yeah.
local My.GAMES Amsterdam people have also been busy gathering up trash. And once again, sending my regards to them, because obviously it wasn't as sunny and warm as our cleanup here in Cyprus, but that didn't stop them from getting out there and making a difference, even though it was
That's
even
great.
raining, as far as I remember. So, yeah.
Well, seems like there is quite some activity going on in all the My.GAMES offices. That's amazing to hear, Anton. Really, it makes me happy to see such a
you, thank
conscious
you.
company that is.
You're always welcome
really
to
trying.
collaborate on that. You're always welcome to join us.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's hope. I'm really excited to see how this activity is gonna come out, and it's exciting. It's really exciting to see. So I'm really just looking forward to it. And yeah, thank you so much for
Thank
the
you.
talk, Anton, and for the laughs and for the spontaneity. It was a great
Yeah.
episode.
Thank you so much. Thank you again for inviting me. Thank you for helping us do this together. We're really excited about this. As you have said in the beginning, this is the first collaboration of that kind for My.GAMES. So we're really excited about it as well. And we, of course, will do more of this in the future. And I'm super grateful to you guys and to my colleagues, especially from the Global City and Storyngton Hall teams, for being ready to go along with this.
Absolutely, it's gonna be really exciting.
Sure.
But for now, have a great day, Anton, and we'll keep in touch.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye bye.